The final round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the JUST1 Helmets MXGP of China, presented by Hehui Investment Group. MX2 Race 1, and it was Tom Vial with his 8th foxhole shot of the season. He then fell on the opening lap, handing the advantage to Jorge Prado and Calvin Valandren. Valandren was in second, came under the scrutiny eventually of Thomas Olsen and Vial. Vial then tried to make this move on Olsen to go into third, but then the next corner he ran off the track. Got pushed back down to fourth. He did yield this position back to Olsen, so there was no punishment there, but eventually he did find his way past the Dane with a swift move up the inside into third place. Jago Geerts was in the background. He also found his way past the Husqvarna rider to move into fourth. And Geerts and Vial were going for third in the championship. Race win number 30 though for Prado in race 1. MXGP race 1, and the fastest qualifier, Glenn Koldenoff, over on the left-hand side, 2:59 on the standing construct KTM, grabbed his 4th foxhole shot on the exit of turn 1. Jeremy Seewer tried to hold a tight line. He came out second eventually, but then he fell on lap 2 whilst challenging for the lead. He picked himself up in 4th place and then fell again. He already had a rock in the face off the rear wheel of Glenn Koldenoff's machine and also split his chin in that fall, but he still continued to fight through. That move on Jasikonis and Jonas put him into 4th, which is where the Monster Energy Yamaha rider would stay. Tim Geiser was already too far up track though in 3rd, battling with Jeffrey Hurlings and the race leader Glenn Koldenoff, who did hang on to take his 4th race win of the year from Hurlings and Geiser. Seewer was 4th. MX2 race 2. This time the man on the left hand side, number 61, Jorge Prado, in his final MX2 race in his MX2 career before moving into MXGP, rounded out the first turn with his 23rd foxhole shot of the season. And for the whole race he was shadowed by his young teammate, number 28, Tom Vial. Thomas Olsen was in 4th for much of the race for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing. Whilst the battle continued up front, Prado would distance himself and then his teammate would close back in. One or two little mistakes started to creep into the game of the 61, who was not feeling himself and not riding as fluent as he has done all year. Jago Geerts, though, was on course for claiming 3rd overall in the MX2 Championship standings. But in a almost photo finish to the line, it was Jorge Prado who took race win number 31, another double race win. Vial was 2nd, Jago Geerts 3rd, Valandren and Olsen your top 5. The overall Grand Prix, though, Prado, Vial, Valandren. The fans loved every minute of it. And the final championship, Prado, Olsen and Jago Geerts just edging out Vial. Jacoby rounded out in 5th place. But that was your podium here in China. Jorge Prado, Tom Vial and Calvin Valandren.
Yeah, it was just an incredible season. I could manage to win so many GPs and motos and be regular, you know. It's coming a big step for me next year, moving to the 450 class, but you know, we are going to work hard, and I'm so happy from this season. I say it again, and I want to thank again everybody who has been supporting me since the beginning, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing Team, all my sponsors, everybody behind me. You know, thank you very much, because you know, it was an incredible season.
The final gate drop of the year, MXGP race 2, and from gate number 3, number 91, who just got pipped in race 1, rounded out the first turn to take his 5th foxhole shot of the year on the Monster Energy Yamaha. But it wasn't long before Glenn Koldenoff was through on the standing construct KTM. Tim Geiser, though, in 3rd, challenging those two, ran off the finish line jump into some trackside hoardings. He had to stop to extricate himself. He eventually re-emerged in 6th place, but that wouldn't be the last time we would see of him. Second half of the race, Jeffrey Hurling started to get the taste for victory. He closed in on Jeremy Seewer, put on a neat squeeze on the Swiss rider going into turn 1 to take 2nd with about 7 laps to go. Tim Geiser made this move on Jeremy Van Horbeke on the Honda SR Moto Blues machine, and the HRC rider found himself in fourth, but a long way off third, which was Jeremy Seewer. A lap and a bit to go. Jeffrey Hurlings closed in on Glenn Koldenoff. He made this pass to take over the lead. Koldenoff then pulled up and hung on for second, which was going to be good enough for third overall in the championship. But Jeffrey Hurlings crossed the line with a 2-1 to take his 86th career victory. Glenn Koldenoff second overall on the podium for the 5th time this year. Jeremy Seewer on the podium for the 6th time this year. And of course the championship looks like this now after all rounds, 18 of them. Geiser, Seewer and Koldenoff rounding out the championship standings. Tim Geiser with the gold plate, a 3-time world champion now for HRC.
I'm getting closer, you know. I'm spending more time on the bike. So our goal was this whole race to be warm-up for us. You know, it's I don't want to let my nation know. So I think we have a great team for us now, and we're all feeling really strong. But coming back to the day, you know, I had two not such a great starts, but I think it was mainly because of my position. But both motors worked my way up to the front. Second motor just couldn't make it, but second moto, I still managed to pass Glenn and win that second motor. So.